Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video here on Bonk. Wanted to do a full update. Quite a few of you have requested this over the last week. I haven't covered this in some time. I did cover it right here in April, but that's obviously over 2 weeks ago. So I wanted to do a full update here on my thoughts, at least on the current situation for Bonk. We'll take a look at some relevant levels. We'll talk about some fundamentals as well, because one of the key reasons why I wanted to cover Bonk in this video and not Pepe or any other meme coin, because meme coins in general have been incredibly strong. I mean, right now they're pushing down a bit, but if you go back over the last 5 days, meme coins are by far the strongest narrative. Well, I also keep an eye on the markets here, by the way. So yeah, but wanted to keep an eye on Bonk because the fundamentals are actually quite good. I mean, structurally, and my apologies for this messy chart, but structurally it is still bullish. Our main support level right here is 2100 and 2000, as you can see, and we're still holding that very, very well. The last time we touched that on Tuesday, we got a very strong reaction from the fair value gap, from the imbalance we had down here. So technically there's no reason to worry. However, I mean, we also have a very strong resistance level, previous value area high as well at 2500, which is, as you can see, very respected, but also a psychological resistance level. However, I think we can break that. And one of the key reasons, well, two of the key reasons for why I think we can break that is, first of all, the meme coin strength. All right. And if you take a look at Bonk right here on the higher time frames, one of the most impressive things, at least when you take a look at volume, RSI tells you a different story, is that there's no major bearish divergence. The price right here made higher highs. Volume did the same. All right, so there was a lot of strength behind Bonk. Unsuccessful breakout, by the way, so that's something you should keep in mind as well, even with the volume. But the fundamentals behind Bonk are quite good. I think the meme coin launchpad that Bonk partially, or at least, partially launched, I believe yesterday did like $1 million in revenue. At least it's gaining a lot of the market share, which is obviously very, very bullish. The Solana ecosystem in general yesterday especially was doing quite well as well. The statistics on Solana are great, and therefore Bonk, I would say, potentially still the #1 meme coin on Solana. It at least in 2024 was. I would say therefore Bonk fundamentally also has enough of a reason to rally up higher. However, now we need to see it in the technicals, all right? And this morning, at least, what we're seeing is some weakness for the altcoin market. I mean, Bonk in the last 2 hours, I think, has been one of the weakest performers here. Ultimately, though, if you take a look at the price, we're still stable, all right? So if I would give a very neutral technical analysis here, I would say wait for either 2500 to break or for 2100 to break. That's our main support level. If we break down below that, that's bearish confirmation. And then all of a sudden it becomes more likely we'll drop down lower into 1900s, into 1800 before we can rally up higher, because generally higher time frames, the trend is still up, right? But watch those two levels. Those are the two most important levels, and if you catch a breakout on one of those two, you'll know what's most likely to happen. However, that's very neutral. If I would have to give you my thoughts on what I think is most likely, I would say short term it's a bit more likely to pull back, maybe with a spike into that area at 1900. There we have a lot of liquidity, maybe with a spike into that, but ultimately to hold this general consolidation right here and a continuation to happen later on down the line. But those are my thoughts, and when I do think that breakout is coming, like I said, main level to break is 2500. I'll let you know, but for now I think this is most likely. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.